ladies and gentlemen, the government asks Indonesia to make choices between to actually prioritize SMEs over attracting FDI. But ladies and gentlemen, opposition believe that this is the wrong choices because the real question in here is not that the SMEs is important and do they need a support, because yes, they need a support and they are truly important for Indonesia. But the real question is that whether Indonesia should actually reduce its focus on attracting FDI in order to prioritize SMEs, because we believe it would actually give a greater bad impact towards our country, like in economic growth and also opportunities, and even it would actually hurt the SMEs that the government claims to protect. And that is why we are proud to oppose this motion. Ladies and gentlemen, before we jump into our government, I would like to do a challenge to government's framing that the government actually assumes that protecting and supporting SMEs are actually like competing priorities, but actually this is not. We disagree with that because these policies are actually complementary to each other. We need that, and that we need that SMEs to make our nation better, but also we need the help of FDI. So ladies and gentlemen, the government actually creates false understanding about the motion. Therefore, the burden should not be to prove the SMS is better or important, but the burden is to prove that Indonesia becomes a better by intentionally giving less priority to attracting FDI, and that is the challenge that we want to give to the government, and I believe that they couldn't make it. Ladies and gentlemen, in here we're actually supporting a balanced economic development. In here we want continue financial assistance for SMEs. We want to improve access to the technology. We want to actually to encourage digital transformation, and also still actively attracting quality foreign investment. And that is why we want foreign investor to have like a policies and also relationship together and a partnership with our local SMEs, and also like giving us a technology, hire Indonesia's workers, and also we want to source products from local business from Indonesia. So in our world, SMEs have a stronger and also better life because FDI exists in there. Okay, let's move on to my first rebuttal in here. So they said that FDI would weaken the domestic business, but actually that is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. They actually ignore the modern economies that actually work in this world. It is not as simple as we want to walk alone. No, we still need other people. And large foreign companies that came, not from our country, that has a great profit and also benefit for our country is truly important for us to actually give a logistics, maintenance, and also like a great support even for our supporting services to our local SMEs. So instead of replacing SMEs, they become the largest customers that could be the biggest income to us. And actually, the government never really explains why removing this business's opportunities would benefit SMEs more, so we win in here. Second, ladies and gentlemen, government really exaggerating the dependency of SMEs, because government claims that Indonesia could actually become dependent on foreign investor, but it is not only created by the investment. Dependency is created because of the bad regulation that happened in our country. So that is why we want Indonesia to actually make a clear regulation about it, so it's all becoming great. And here we have the requirement for that, which is first we want a local employment, so that our people could also get the opportunities to work in our nation. Second, we have technology transfer, so that we can gain greater technology in the future, and environmental standard, also partnership with our people. And if the regulation is actually very strong, Indonesia will gain investment while also actually protecting national interest. And the third, ladies and gentlemen, they actually ignores the opportunity that is cost in here, because every investment, when it is rejected, they will have a fewer job, fewer technology, fewer exports that came from other nation. So yeah, when we compare us to them, government never like gave a clear and also a mechanism towards this. Now let's move on to my first argument. Ladies and gentlemen, FDI actually creates an economic transformation that SMEs cannot achieve alone, because we know that SMEs is truly important. But however, they cannot really generally do like great things in FDI, because they have a limited technology, limited access, limited international market, and Indonesia's long-term development actually requires the SMEs and also industries to give a renewable energy, to give a great technology investment, and a great manufacturing, and this actually requires $1 billion. And this investment that came from FDI could actually give us a help and also support, so that it's like a win-win solution, because they actually giving us like a technology, networks, and also skill without even without even taking off the SMEs from Indonesia as our power. And that's it. Thank you so much for the time. Proud to be opposition.